Okay, this is just a quick, easy, bare bone explanation of my workflow when I'm blending my bracketed exposures into HDR photos using MediaChance's newest version, which does raw files. It'll do JPEGs, TIFFs, then it saves the exit file from your base file into your finished product. So anyway, this is what you see when you open up the program. So you go to Open File Browser to find your files you want to blend. So I've already got them highlighted here. One thing you have to remember is if you have a whole bunch of files in here that fill the screen up, you have to wait till they all load up their icons, their thumbnails. If you click on one of these files before that finishes, then the program will crash every time. So basically, you load it up like this. You click it on, click it off, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to click all five that I want to blend together, and then you'll notice over here I was doing 5 exposures at 0.3 spread on them. So the middle one's always going to be well, it depends on the way you got it. But on my camera, I got the middle one is the base. So here's the base, and then darker, darker, and then lighter, lighter. So there, I got them all. That's what I want. So then the next thing you basically do is just don't bother with nothing else. Just go with your defaults and hit continue to align. Okay, now there's a few tips about this aligning thing I'm going to have to explain to you, or otherwise you might run into some trouble. For one thing, this window where it's aligning it, it just aligned overall aligned all four exposures to the base photo. You see, now if you can't have any movement in this window when you're aligning it, or it might not align right because the movement will throw it off. See, for instance, I wouldn't align it with these two guys in there, because they're moving. You see them? See them back and forth. See their heads moving and stuff. So make sure you don't have anything in there. Then you go to here. You can do precise align all, but I found that sometimes it doesn't work right. So I like to do them each individually, and I wouldn't suggest hitting rotation unless you got a real problem with it. Because if you do rotation just for the heck of it, a lot of times you'll find out that the right and left side of your pictures might be off. So I don't just do movement and then highlight one, precise align it, wait till it's done. There you go. And you can watch the X. Sometimes you'll see it move. It's telling you it was a little bit out. You see it moves real slightly. Now watch this one. And these are pretty well because and I did these handheld with the RX 100 because it's such a tiny camera you can hold. Then if you had to do it manually, something just a little bit tweaking, maybe you could do it in here. But usually I don't have to do anything. And then, like I said, leave these defaults and go to continue to HDR. Let the program do the work. Okay, then in here now, I found the best setting here to get the most natural looking stuff is Gaussian peak, and you got the program which you can download it and get a free version, trial version. I think it leaves a watermark on it or something. But anyway, that's the way you do it. Then Gaussian peak, see. But here in this one is the window where you mask out movement. Remember the guy's head was moving around and stuff. So then you open up your mask editor. Then you can change the size of it here, so probably about here. And then I'm going to go down, hold the mouse button down, and move over these guys and mask them out, you see. Now I masked out that movement. But then you want to copy that to the other 3 frames that you're going to merge to your base frame. So you hit copy merge. And we say, I copy open mask or other image pairs and merge it with their mask. Yes. Just click yes. Okay, there, you're done. Now the only got to do is you got to apply that now and close it. And there you go. So now we're done with this frame. This is all we can do. Then you want to go to your last thing, which is tone mapping it. Now, tone mapping it is where you really see the improvements in an HDR. It brings them the clouds out, but it's way oversaturated. See, by default, and I found eye-catching is the best. Let's say you want the auto die. I don't like any of these other ones. That's just. I guess you could darken it down here, if you wanted to, but wherever you wanted it. But I like eye-catching the best. You can play around with these, There's all kind of different things you could do here, like I don't know, high key. Set that, and then it changes all these different values. See, but I made one. So basically, I made one right here. This is my favorite right here for right now, anyway, for most things. And basically, what it did, I brought this. If you was just in a default, see. So if you went here and then you went back here and you hit, see now we're back in the default. You see. So if you, well, actually no, I guess I'm still in here in my settings. But anyway, I turned it. Usually by default, the saturation is way up here. That's way too high, you know. So you could turn the saturation down. You could adjust tweak all these things, you know, whatever you want to do, and then you just hit over here, add, and it'll ask you to name it, and it saves all your settings as a preset, which I don't want to do because I already did it. And I'm just going to choose the one that I want right here. There's the one that I wanted. The only thing I might change here, see, I like to put smoothness all the way down. I don't need that. I want it sharp. I want my stuff sharp. Maybe the vibrance, I'll add it up to medium, and it won't make a whole lot of difference. You almost can't tell. The reds are a little bit oversaturated, but I got the saturation all the way down. You know? So basically, I could change all that stuff. So basically, I go ahead and save it now. Or you could go one more step with many more tweaks, see, and you could still do your gamma, you know? So I don't know. I'm going to leave it like that. And go to effects. You could choose effects, and it's all kind of tweaking in here. And this needs to be perspective, but I'm going to crop that out because I don't want it anyway, so I don't care. And that's one of the troubles with cameras is your perspective gets whacked out sometimes. And it takes a while. There we go. Now we're in this mode, see, and basically it's tone map mode, so there's nothing really being done to it at this in the effects here. So basically you can add all these different things. Let's say I want to do curves, double click it and it puts it down in your effects stuff, and then click that, which is clicked, and you could you know, change your curves or whatever. I'm going to get rid of curves. Well, I don't know. And then if you like the way you adjusted your curves and you wanted to do something else and add it, you can add them all down in there and adjust them all the way you like. Then you can save it as another preset, which is add. See? And then save this preset, but I'm not going to bother saving. Now I'm going to show you a preset I already made, which is pretty simple. And it's just brightness contrast. And you see it's already been adjusted because that was my preset I set it with. You could change it, you know, whatever you want. And I'm not even going to bother with it. I'm going to go back to, now I don't want to do any effects. I'm going to bring it back to the tone map. And I'll go from there in Photoshop. See, so now I'm back to tone map, and the presets are gone, and then I'll just say save it. And then I typed in here, you know, what I want in the exif file, which is my copyright. And then I check this off, copy your exif tag from your base file into the finished product, okay? And or you can save it as a TIFF or a Photoshop file or some other kind, whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to save it as a JPEG, simple old thing. Save it. Now, where am I going to put it? I like to put it right here in original HDR. Maybe that's what I'm in. Yeah, that's what I'm in. So I'm going to save it. And it automatically adds DP HDR at the end. So I always know it's an HDR file. Save it. You see? Now I'm done with that. So I go to Photoshop and I'll open it up. Like so, original HDR, there it is, open it up. First thing I'm going to do is crop this sucker, like so. I don't want all this stuff in there, I don't need it in there. And I just crop it, I might leave a corner just because instead of cutting it off. I could clone it out, but I can't be bothered. It's a simple, you know, introduction here. Image, crop it. Okay, then I like to size it to whatever my finished size I'm going to use it for. And for me, I usually do 1080 stuff. Simply because I like the 1080 fits good on my TV to look at it full screen. So, okay, crop it. Now, look at it full size and see what I see. Okay. Now, you know, I like to adjust the levels. I know they could use some. You see that this could be brought in a little bit. Spread it out a little. See, there we go. It's not too bad right there. I don't want to go too high because I don't want to blow this out up here, see. And then maybe this one here, I don't know if I want to go any darker, bring the darks in, but I usually like to, you know, a general rule of thumb is bring them into the first peak, but I wouldn't want to bring that into the first peak here. I'd be in big trouble on the clouds. But anyway, there you go. Then I just sharpen the sucker up. And I like to use Nick Sharpener, which is they're free. What the heck? I think they do a great job. See, then you can move the box. And I want to see how the people and the flowers and everything look. See, and I got it preset. See, what I from something else I did. And if you got the hand in here, which is you click the hand, then if you hold the button down, you'll see it normal or before and process. See, so it does make a difference, and it brings it up. And you see, I got my contrast and structures pretty high set. But I think that gives you a good sharpness. And this foliage doesn't look over sharp to me like sometimes it happens. And that's one reason why I like Nick Sharper. You can get that. And click OK. Now it'll sharpen. And there's your finished product. Looks pretty good if you ask me.